My name is Peter Sprigg. I'm a senior fellow for policy studies at the Family Research Council in Washington. I urge you to maintain the current policy which permanently defers men who have had sex with men since 1977 as blood donors. Any change in this policy should occur only if it can be demonstrated that it will improve both the availability and the safety of the nation's blood supply. No such evidence is available. The principal motivation of those who seek a change in the current policy is to reduce what they perceive as discrimination against homosexual or bisexual men. But while such alleged discrimination may be an interesting and relevant topic for sociological and political debate in the context of discussions of other issues, such as employment law or the definition of marriage, it is entirely irrelevant to this topic. First, the claim that the current policy discriminates on the basis of sexual orientation is highly misleading. Sexual orientation is a multifaceted characteristic that encompasses separate issues of sexual attractions or desires, a psychological phenomenon, sexual self-identification, a psychological and sociological phenomenon, and sexual behavior, a physical phenomenon. The first two elements of sexual orientation have no bearing on the issue of blood donor deferral whatsoever. Prospective blood donors are not asked about their sexual attractions or desires, and people are never excluded from donating based on same-sex attractions alone. Prospective blood donors are also not asked whether they identify themselves as gay or bisexual. It is possible for men and women who experience same-sex attractions or desires to donate blood. It is also possible for people who self-identify as gay, lesbian, or bisexual to donate blood. And finally, it is possible for women who have sex with women to donate blood. The only group deferred on the basis of the gender of their sex partners is men who have had sex with men since 1977. The deferral takes place regardless of whether the sexual contact was voluntary or forced, and regardless of whether the individual identifies himself as heterosexual, homosexual, or bisexual. A man who has been exclusively heterosexual or entirely celibate for over 30 years could be excluded under this policy if he had engaged in sex with another man just once after 1977. This policy is not discrimination based on sexual orientation. It is based on a well-documented behavioral risk. Nothing more, nothing less. The FDA's own website states clearly, quote, men who have had sex with men since 1977 have an HIV prevalence 60 times higher than the general population, 800 times higher than first-time blood donors, and 8,000 times higher than repeat blood donors, close quote. I understand that there are many people who wish to advance the socio-political goal of winning greater acceptance of homosexuality. However, the blood donation policy does not exist to serve socio-political purposes, nor should it be changed to advance them. Only the scientific evidence matters, and it indicates that the current policy should remain in place. Thank you.